This is a crack. Got another one over here with crack in the same area. This is another screenshot of another cracked 3070 card.
So just to be perfectly clear about what Louis Rossman is talking about in this video, if you look down here on the bottom of the card, this little area that takes a lot of weight from when the card is installed horizontally like this can actually crack if there's any movement. This card does not have a crack, but I have seen that happen 2 times now with customers of my own. Both of them were Gigabyte cards and they cracked in that same exact manner right around the screws. One was a 2080 Ti and the other one was an RTX 3070, if I believe. So the reason his video stood out to me was not just because graphics cards crack there. Like, that does happen, and if you're transporting a PC and there's a lot of weight from the cooler and the card's moving all around, you could probably crack it pretty easily. And there are other brands that I've seen cracked in that exact spot. I almost forgot about this card. A while ago, my first customer with the RTX 2080 Ti, he had brought it to me, pretty much bought it off Newegg. It was a refurbished card, but seemed to work pretty good for about 6 months. And his computer does not move from his desk. And somewhere around the 6-month mark, he asked me if I could troubleshoot his computer. He lives kind of far away, so I told him to take the GPU out of the PC. He brought it to me and everything looked pretty good. When I went to troubleshoot the card would no longer post. It would turn on and act like it was gonna post and then just go black. And I was like, what the heck, this is weird. So I ended up testing it vertically in a test bench, and in the test bench it would actually post, but it was kind of like intermittent. So I was like, all right, something's weird with this. I looked around on the PCB and I didn't notice the crack at all because it was so subtle, and it started from the very bottom of that clip and it went all the way up, almost like the entire PCB cracked all the way up until the GPU died. So when I sent it into a GPU repair place, they had not noticed it as well until they went to do a BGA removal and they found that the actual PCB had a crack, like a hairline crack going down it. And when you'd flex the board back and forth, it would intermittently connect and disconnect. And it was like this really weird thing. So the biggest problem with this situation was that the card was used from Newegg. It was a refurbished card. And I actually think that the crack was there originally. And what happened was, as he used it and it would heat up over time, it slightly got worse and worse. Newegg sold the card with a warranty, but when he went to actually RMA the card, Gigabyte denied it right out of the gate. If you look at these little like red dots on the screen, I'll throw up an image. This is Gigabyte basically saying, yeah, we're not going to accept your RMA because it's cracked or your PCB is damaged.
Almost every company nowadays is looking for ways to save money, whether that is through cheaper manufacturing or just through not supporting you when you pay $2,000 for something and are dealing with a design flaw.
So the reason I cut that clip was because originally, when I first got that 2080 Ti, I started looking around online to see if other people had experienced similar issues. And I remember seeing tons of posts about it. There's a lot. If you go online and just look up GPU cracked Gigabyte, you'll end up seeing quite a bit. The reason I bring it up is because Gigabyte is another one of those companies, just like with the Asus situation. They have really kind of cut on costs, and their PCB must be really thin. Like, maybe they're using less layers of copper. Whatever it is, it's just crazy that this is happening quite a bit. And I'm going to show you in a minute here. I'm actually going to crack this. This is an old GeForce MX2 or GeForce 2 MX. It shouldn't be as easy as it is with these Gigabyte cards. And it just sucks knowing that if you buy a, $1,000 video card, that you could easily have it crack in transportation or even just installing it a little bit rough.
You have another crack over here. And this is where Gigabyte puts their arrow when they send back the card that you RMA'd, that you paid $1,000 to $2,000 for, that cracked as if it cost $20, saying that they're not going to fix it. The Gigabyte arrow. That's a Gigabyte arrow. This is a user putting an arrow on there. Another arrow. Tiniest crack ever destroys 6 lanes of data, apparently. Another crack. Another crack. And this is from Gigabyte. I know a lot of you guys had the same crack with the RTX 30 series. How hard is it to repair? Is Gigabyte with their trademark little arrow.
So Louis goes on to talk about this GPU repair tech email that he got. And he's also going over all these eBay listings he found. So just be really careful if you're looking around online for one of these 30 series Gigabyte cards. It's a possibility it could have a crack as well. I'm not going to play this entire clip, But I do want to mention the second video card I got from another customer, which was the RTX 3070. And when that card showed up, I essentially planned a build with this guy, and he passed the 14-day return window at Best Buy at the time and was not able to return any of his product. By the time we got to the build, he had already got a little excited and started putting stuff together. I don't know if he cracked it or went a little bit too rough on it, but when it showed up at the house, I had the exact same problem, crack in the exact same spot, and I really wish I was doing YouTube back then because I would have filmed all of this stuff. But essentially what happened was Gigabyte denied the warranty, and he had to go out and buy another card, and I don't know exactly what he did with the old card. I'm sure you could repair it, but it had the same problem. It wouldn't post, and he was SOL. Here's a quick clip of me breaking this MX2 GPUs tab, just to show you actually how hard it is to break the PCB. And this is why it's concerning. I think Gigabyte is definitely cheaping out on their materials or something. And yeah. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If this is something that has happened to you, definitely write a comment. I'm very curious to see what you have to say. And yeah, it's going to do it for this video. Thanks for checking it out. And like, subscribe, all that stuff, whatever. And peace out for now. Bye.